Mr. Mystery Guest. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Unless you want to open the front door for me.
No, I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You know my name, but who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a child. Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks he's John Wayne, Rambo, Marshall Dillon.
I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually. I really like those sequin shirts.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Film Bros Podcast. My name is Isaiah Lucas, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Abraham.
And Nick.
How you guys doing tonight?
Been all right. Pretty cold, though.
I am getting over a sickness.
Okay.
So, you might hear a little phlegm. You might hear a little cough. So I apologize in advance.
Okay.
But I'm here. And thankful because this movie is crazy.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited, actually, that this was all a first watch for us, because when I went into this movie, I was thinking it was going to be like some cheesy 80s action flick, you know, that like the 80s are very stereotyped by. But there was something with a lot more substance here that I was actually very surprised by and actually really happy with, too. So
yeah,
I'm excited to dive into it a little bit. How was the holidays for you guys?
It's good. It was low-key. Very low-key and small, so.
yeah. I
It's
got
good.
some good gifts.
There
Got a
you
nice
go.
little coffee mug. New hat.
There you go.
I'm living the dream. What about you?
I got a new hat, too.
I know. We're looking good.
Yeah, it was good, man. We, just hung out with family, had a good time, and it's nice to just spend that time with one another and hang out. Usually, whenever we go over to my family's house for Christmas, we always watch First Blood.
Oh,
For
I
some
figured your
reason.
dad loves Rambo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we always watch like First Blood for some reason. But this year we watched Zoolander.
What?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was actually fun. Like, I haven't watched Zoolander in so long, and I've been seeing all the memes, the Zoolander memes on TikTok and everything. I remember we want to rewatch the movie like really badly, so my dad just randomly put it on, and I was surprised at like how much I was laughing at the movie again, and just how much fun I was having with it. It's super silly, but it's something you can put on and just laugh with and have a good time.
I've never seen it.
It's fun. The humor is very dumb, but that's like the charm of it, I think. Like it kind of has it almost kind of has the same humor style to me as like a Dumb and Dumber would.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like
I own it, too.
you got like,
it's with Ben Stiller, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Ben Stiller's dad.
What a combo.
Yeah.
I know. Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson is a great combo.
They're the iconic duo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I'd recommend it.
Ariana Grande is in it?
The second one maybe.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
The first one came out in like 2004 or 2000.
Imagine Ariana Grande was in it.
Just be hecka young, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with that recently too. So,
All right.
all right. Well, what movie are we talking about, Abe?
I chose the 1988 film Die Hard, directed by John McTiernan, and it's adapted from a book, which I didn't know.
A book?
It's based off the novel
Yes.
by Roderick Thorpe. Screenplay by Jeb Stuart and Steven E. D'Souza.
Yeah.
D'Souza.
Yeah. Book title is Nothing Lasts Forever.
Nothing lasts forever. Are you serious?
And I didn't know that
Yep.
until I saw it on IMDb.
Wow. Does it follow the same story?
So I think what I
Or-
was reading was the biggest difference is that in the book, the events of the movie take place over a span of 3 days.
Oh, not just
Ah,
one
not
night.
just
Yeah.
one night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a little bit more believable for one night.
Yeah.
It's a lot more believable for one night.
Because how could he survive all of that and have like hardly any food?
Yeah.
So, one night it is.
Yeah.
I chose this movie. It was my first time watching it. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with it.
Can we start with a debate?
Is it a
Christmas movie?
I will say no. still.
I think it is.
I say yes.
It's very in your face about it being Christmas. They're at a Christmas party.
It's
I
literally
have
Christmas
a machine
Eve.
gun.
Is it Christmas Eve?
Yeah, I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
There's a Santa Claus like doll.
Yeah.
They're playing all kind of Christmas music.
Yeah,
I mean, it's everything Christmas has. More than home. I mean, literally, if you think about it, it's Home Alone but more violent.
yeah, it is. It is.
Home Alone but exchange the tricks for guns.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is really.
there you go.
Yeah, all the fun, family friendliness about Home Alone gets exchanged for
Murder.
cocaine
F-words.
and drugs and blood and gore and
Exactly.
all that stuff. I had fun with it. I also was very shook to see Severus Snape
I was too.
Yeah, Alan Rickman.
Yeah. Yes.
in the movie, and it was kind of strange seeing him out of that role. But as soon as I seen him come on too, I was like, "That's Severus Snape." What the heck? Yeah,
And, it concreted his acting chops in my mind
yeah,
because I had seen him obviously in all the Harry Potters, and I thought he was good. I mean, he's this like weird kind of like conniving weirdo, but no, he's actually like a good actor.
yeah.
And I think this one he did a great job at
Yeah.
being like this smart and like he's French guy, right?
He
Or
was
no, he's
German,
German, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Just nice like German thief.
Yeah,
That was good.
yeah, definitely. It's streaming currently on Stars. So,
Yeah.
so if you have Stars, you can stream it over there.
Yes.
If not, recommend picking up a copy or renting it or something like that. It's definitely a lot of fun. And if it's, up your alley, if you haven't already seen it, or if you're in need of a rewatch, definitely revisit it, especially during the holiday season.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's rated R, so if that's something that you're not, a big fan of, maybe hold off. I would say it's a classic, though. I think this is like number 118 on IMDb's top 250 movies of all time.
Of all time.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
It
definitely
was
up
nominated
there.
for 4 Oscars too.
Yeah, and I was even seeing that like there's some museum. I think in like the year 2017, it got like inducted into like the National Film Society or something like that as like being like culturally and like aesthetically and significantly impactful to the society or something like that. Like
What?
and like it like impacted the culture at the time and like
Wow.
is being preserved in this certain museum or something like that. I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
exactly sure.
You know what? I would imagine that they'd have just like all of the greatest movies of all time and then just shoot them into space. Like for some reason, I feel like that's something we do as humanity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we did it with the golden record, didn't we?
Oh, I don't know.
Or it's
I'm
like a
not
golden placard or something that has like, it's like there's like a whole like thing on it.
Mm.
So if aliens found it, we'd hope that they could decode it and
Oh, okay.
figure out who we are.
Interesting.
We need to do that with movies. Send Die Hard up there.
I've never heard of that.
So that way an alien could watch it and go, yippee ki mother.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
That's how they introduce themselves. Hi, my name is Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Anytime I think of aliens, though, have you ever seen Scary Movie 3?
Yes.
I just think that the aliens will look like that and pee out of their finger.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So if you think that's weird, just say we pee. That guy's all sticking his finger in Charlie Sheen's mouth. Yeah.
Nasty.
All right. Well, let's dive into some of the categories then.
Yeah. My first favorite scene is actually not until quite into the movie.
Okay.
It's after he gets to the building.
Okay.
So I don't know if you got anything before.
No, I had a hard time actually determining what was a favorite scene because this movie felt very, I don't know, like streamlined almost. Like it felt like each scene was just a continuation of the thing before it, and it was hard to like kind of cut a scene off and be like, okay, that was one specific scene because like and I think that's really I think that's to the film's advantage. Like I really enjoyed like at first, there's that one scene where like he's going through the elevator shaft and he sees that picture of a naked woman. And like I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, freaking, random 80s action film has to have nudity in it for some reason, right? But then that even gets used to be like, okay, I'm here. I remember that.
Yeah.
Now I know I can go a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like that kind of
It's a landmark.
yeah, like well, and it also kind of denotes the way that the film is, right? Like it's just a constant machine the entire time, and when he's not here, he's on his way to another part of the building, and then he gets here and then has to go back up to that part of the building to get around to the other side and try to get to where this Christmas party's happening. And like, I don't know, it felt very like I guess like stream of consciousness, where it was just like everything that was happening at the time was just thrown out there and we saw what stuck, so
Yeah, I just like. Actually, I lied. My first favorite scene would be meeting the driver.
okay.
Argyle.
Yeah,
Argyle.
I love this
I
guy,
liked him.
man.
He's
I liked
funny.
him as a character.
He's funny.
So funny.
And it's just he was just funny. He had me laughing up the whole time. But I also I had to laugh because in the beginning we see a scene when he's talking. Our guy John McCain, he's talking to another passenger on this plane.
John McCain.
Yes, John
The-
McClane.
I
John
was gonna say-
McClane.
I was gonna say
John
the,
McClane.
the war veteran that passed away.
Be a different movie.
John McClane is talking to someone else on the plane, and it made me laugh because when he gets to the building, he makes his toes into fist, and I don't know why or what he said. The other guy was like, "You got to make your toes like fist," and then he does it at the office. I was like, I wonder why.
I think he said something to like
To ease your...
to ease your stress or something like that. He's like, I always do it like before I get onto a plane or something like that to like kind of ground me and bring me back to reality or something like that. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that was my first one.
my first bro moment, even like when he's getting off the plane, was seeing him carrying a gun on the plane.
I know.
Well,
It's
you
a
gotta look
different-
at
I know,
it's a different
it's a
time.
different
That's
world,
Pre
yeah.
9/11.
Pre 9/11, but like,
And
was
he's a
that
cop.
always was that allowed?
I
Was that
think
always
so.
allowed?
I feel like if you're a cop and you show your credentials, maybe you have.
I don't know.
Yeah, he just straight up just had the holster on him, and I was like,
Anybody could come up and take it, though.
yeah.
So it's kind of not really a good idea, right?
I don't know. It was crazy.
I don't know, man. It was different. I did see that, and I was like,
Yeah,
on him? On the plane? All
Yeah.
right, whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. I put my first starting of favorite scenes when he got into that first fight with that guy with the.
Oh, okay. I forget his name.
I'm not gonna know any of the names,
I'm not
honestly,
gonna know
except
any of the
Hans.
yeah,
Hans is the only one I know.
but
It was
he's
Ellis. It was Ellis.
the guy that
No, I'm
says you can't hurt me. You're a police officer.
Yes.
Yes, that's Ellis.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I think so.
No, Ellis was the other guy. Ellis
Yeah,
was
Ellis
the
was the guy doing coke.
the
Was
idiot.
it Eddie, Marco, Christoph,
Dude,
I
it
don't-
could be
couldn't know.
Tony,
could be-
Franco?
Yeah, all of them. All the above into one guy.
You know who I hate?
All we know is he has a brother.
Carl.
All we know is he has a brother. That's it.
Oh, it's Carl's brother.
Yeah.
Yes. So the reason why I like the scene is because he is in a real severe disadvantage. I mean, literally, everybody is being taken hostage in this Christmas party, including his wife, and now he was. I guess where was he?
He originally was like in the same floor as the Christmas party,
Right.
and then found a way to like sneak up to like a couple floors above it and pull a fire alarm.
Right.
and then that's when they got the guy to come up there to check it out.
Yes. Okay. He was. So he's at a big severe disadvantage. I mean, there's 11 guys. With
He's literally barefoot.
Oh
Has
my
like
gosh.
is just wearing like
a freaking
a
wife
tank
pleaser?
top.
Yeah.
He's wearing the wife pleaser.
It's like
some random slacks and
No
like,
shoes.
No shoes.
yeah, and it's funny to see him. excuse me, to be so at a disadvantage, but also use the only really thing he has, which is his like street smarts,
Yeah.
his knowledge, to be like, I'm gonna put the power saw on to distract him, and then I'm gonna get him. And then just the way that they tussle, it's not like this guy is a superhero. It's like he's just trying to tussle him
Yeah.
and try to get him, and then they fall down the stairs. And I just like the character building of John,
Yeah.
and him being like just quick on his feet, but not overpowered.
Yeah. I also like his like personality.
Yeah.
And his quips. of being like, he's like, I'm a cop, I'm a policeman, and he's like, oh, if you're a policeman, you can't hurt me. There are certain rules that a policeman has to abide by. And he's like, yeah, my captain keeps telling me that. And then he goes, blah, blah, and just starts like fighting him even more. It's just super funny, and it sets up his character really well. And that's something that stays consistent throughout the entirety of the film.
Yeah, and I like too how whenever he every time he fights someone, he gets a new ability pretty much. Like he's like, okay, now I got a machine gun, and now I got the walkie-talkie, which he uses the entire film. And again, you get to hear him talking to Hans the entire time. And I love the writing between him and Hans. Yeah, it's so good.
It's also even funny to recognize that they the film takes a moment to recognize that he is barefoot. Yeah, and he's like, man, out of all the people in this building, I had to beat up the guy with the smallest shoe size, and like I can't even fit in these shoes. This is ridiculous. He's like, but guess what? Now I got this gun and all this, other stuff that I can try to use to my advantage, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
My next favorite scene is again with Argyle, and he's on the phone with some girl.
Oh yeah.
While everything is happening, and he's so clueless, and he's just talking to this girl, and he's like, of course, baby, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
My boss thinks I'm on my way to Las Vegas. And he's a hustler, blood.
Yeah.
He is. It's funny.
And I love him.
Yeah.
I have how do you guys feel about the scene where the cop was real hesitant to go? He decides to go, and he's checking around, and he gets to the security guy, which is really one of the guys undercover.
Mm-hmm.
He goes in and he's checking around, and he's about to see the guy with the gun, and he's like, screw it, and he leaves like nothing's about to happen, and then the body falls.
Yeah.
How'd you feel
I
about
thought that was good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
brilliant.
insane.
Yeah. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, there wasn't that many cars. There wasn't many. So if that security guard was like, he was like, obviously was playing the part.
Yeah,
he was like, I don't got nothing to hide. So the cop obviously is gonna believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think throwing the body down was perfect.
Yeah. The fight scene right before it too, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was when he was on those long tables and shooting through it. And he's like, when you have someone at gunpoint, you don't hesitate.
He goes, when you get a chance to kill someone, take it. And he goes, I took my chance.
Yeah, he's like, thanks for the advice.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too.
Pretty good. What else? Do you have anything else?
There's so much that happens, bro. Literally, how'd you feel about the saying, now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho?
Oh. I enjoyed it, and I
thought
that
was smart.
And I thought that it was, I thought that played more to the movie's advantage of it being a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the protagonist is aware that it's Christmas Eve. His wife is at this Christmas party, and it's gonna further play into his personality of him having these quips and these little one-liners that he can say that make him seem like he's got it all together. And also what better taunt to send out one of your guys to for your people to recognize, oh man, this guy's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, and now guess what? Some random person we have no idea what they look like has a machine gun now, and he could potentially come down here and like kill us too.
Right. And not only does he have a machine gun, but he's right on top.
Yeah.
So he gets to hear everyone, and all the while he's writing down the names on his forearm.
Dude, that's smart.
So smart.
It's so good.
So smart.
He's a great cop.
Yes.
And he's doing anything he can to survive.
Yes.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Really enjoyed that.
What about you? What was your next?
I didn't write down any of my favorite scenes just because the whole time I was entranced and I was just there to watch the movie. I kind of wish I almost watched this movie a second time to really like dive into what was my favorite, because I didn't want to look away from the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I really legitimately had such a good time with it that I was like, I don't want to have the distraction of my phone, like and taking the notes and everything to kind of take me away from what the movie is.
Okay.
I enjoyed
How
being there.
did you feel about Hans faking being a survivor?
I thought that was smart.
It was insane to me.
Listen. I thought I was almost starting to root for Hans.
What?
Yes.
For him to get away?
Yes.
It was
he plays
wild.
it so well.
He does.
It was wild. Like I did not think that was what was going to happen. Mm-mm. And that's one of the things I really enjoyed about this movie is it was so unpredictable to me. Like just when I thought something would happen, especially in this scene, like I thought like it would be the like, you know, the big reveal between the villain and the boss and be like, "Oh, I got you now."
But they haven't seen each other.
No, they haven't even seen each other. So they don't know what anyone looks like.
Yeah.
And so for them to be like, "Oh yeah, stick with me, man. We'll make sure we, you know, get out of this safely and all this stuff." And all the while, this guy's the one that's plotting the whole thing. And then, you know, eventually turns the gun on him and he's like, "Hans Gruber."
No, dude.
Like
When he handed him the gun, me and Lisa were like,
No
way,
No.
dude.
I was
Yeah.
like, no way you're gonna do it. But
no. And
Yeah.
then, of course,
But
and
he
then
does-
I was like, hold on. He's not dumb.
Yeah.
So what if he did it to where he took the bullets
The
out
clip
first?
out.
yeah,
Of
but I was
course.
watching. I was watching, and I didn't notice him take out the bullet
They might not have shown it.
because also Hans is smart and looks up, gets the name off the wall, and says Bill
Oh,
Clay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah,
He
that
does-
was
he
another
kinda-
bro moment
Doesn't
too.
he look like a Clay though?
He
Yeah.
does.
I saw that. I was like, I believe that, bro. I believe it. Your face? Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, okay, like maybe I shouldn't be rooting for this guy, but I'm starting to root for this guy because he's like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
convincing
like
me.
the battle of the wits.
Yeah, I'm
type
glad.
situation
Yeah, I
right
thought
there.
it was gonna be like one of those things where he did a little slip up in a conversation, and then he'd be like, "Oh," and then fight the gun.
Mhm.
But it was like, no, we don't have to sacrifice John's intelligence
Yeah.
to have a scene like this.
Mhm.
We can still have this tension build, and yet still maintain the characters and how he really wouldn't give a weapon away.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So it was like oh look, I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And
JK.
yeah, and it
I
was a
don't.
nice scene to build tension, but also maintain how we built the characters up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and it's just showing how Hans is slowly becoming more and more like desperate.
Yeah.
It's like, where are my detonators?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that too.
sloppy man.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about getting into the vault? That vault was pretty insane.
Yeah, it was pretty
It
wild.
reminded me of a GTA heist.
Heist, seeing all this just random valuable stuff.
No, yeah,
taken it.
there's
all of the statues and all
Yeah.
that.
because there's a heist
Paintings.
that's like that, and it's just you have to go to this house and you have to blah blah blah,
Mhm.
and literally you walk into this vault and it's just a bunch of items, a bunch of collectibles,
Yeah.
paintings and stuff like that, and I was like, bro, this is GTA 1988.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting, especially when they finally opened it. I like how they involved the FBI in their plan.
Yeah.
Usually you want to keep the FBI away.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we rely
But
on
also
them.
that deputy chief is stupid.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Maybe that's something. Yeah, actually.
How did
'Cause I did not like his character at all.
He sucks.
Like
How did he become
like,
chief?
Yeah, and just for him to like have this just big god complex where he's like,
I'm chief.
I'm the chief of operations over here. I know what goes. Let's make this decision, and then it continues. Every decision he makes continues to be the worst one.
It's
And then the cop, Al, the entire time is like, I've been talking to this guy the entire time. We have this camaraderie with one another. We're trying to make sure that this situation gets handled amicably as it can be.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chief comes out here and is just like,
I'm in charge now.
I'm in charge. Let's make the worst decision possible. Like it's
Let's set spotlights all around the building
yeah,
so
and rush these fools.
yeah,
he was frustrating, man.
He was stupid.
yeah, definitely.
I did not like him.
yeah.
But they get the vault finally with the FBI turn off the power grid, and I like how they. It's like it reminds me of the moment in Pulp Fiction when they're about to see like what's in there,
Yeah.
and they're all like looking, and you're finally like, "What are we gonna see? What are we gonna see? Is it gonna be gold bars? Gonna go,
Yeah.
just gold bricks everywhere?"
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I liked it. It brought out that like childlike. What is it?
Yeah.
And it was just something that they had been working for the entire freaking movie up to this
Yeah.
point.
So to get that reveal,
It was nice.
satisfying.
Yeah, it was very satisfying, and it wasn't about, he has this whole Hans has this whole like, I don't even know. He like tries to front, maybe not tries to front, maybe he tries to like, because he's like has this whole like, running off the political ideologies and all this stuff, and he's like a reformist. You know what I mean? And but he's really all he wants is just these, like bonds or stocks.
Yeah,
That's all he wants.
yeah,
So he's like has this whole persona to build himself up, but this is all he wants.
yeah.
He wants to what? It's like $400 million or something
Yeah,
like that
something ridiculous.
in papers.
But he goes to say something which is true. He goes, a man can disappear for $600, but it's $600 million, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
600
goes-
million?
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
jeez.
goes, but if a man tries to steal $600 million, they're for sure gonna find me.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's why he's going through all the trouble.
He is kind of a dumb robber, though.
He's pretty smart.
You think so?
I mean, if John wasn't there, he would have got away with it scot-free.
Yeah.
His plan was pretty much foolproof.
Yeah.
The police and the FBI literally fell right into the trap.
Yeah.
Every single thing that they lined up, the police fell into it.
Worked to the robber's advantage.
Seriously, every single thing. Like, if John wasn't there, they would have got away scot-free.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy that they planned it that tightly.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel about? I put Mission Impossible down that building.
Oh yeah.
What do
I
you-
thought with the fire hose.
Yeah,
I liked it honestly, and I liked that they incorporated logic into it.
Yes.
Like whenever he falls down into the thing, tries to break in, and then once he finally falls in there, the thing falls and starts to drag him, and I'm like, oh dude, get it off, dude. Like I would figure in any other cheesy '80s movie that like once he falls in, like, oh man, you're immediately good.
Yeah.
Like they still put stakes throughout this entire movie to recognize like this guy is not some superhero. He is just some average Joe who is going the distance to like try to save the day.
and he's
Yeah.
progressively getting more and more bloody
Yeah.
as he goes.
Yeah.
Man, it's rough.
Yeah. I even love like the scenes whenever I think it's after that's when the whole like glass breaking scene happens, right?
I think that might be after.
Okay. So like I love that entire scene of like them, Hans and this other, I think it's Carl, like they got John pinned in a certain office and he's surrounded by glass. And Hans previously noticed that John was barefoot. And so Hans immediately tells Carl, shoot out all the glass in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I was like, oh man, why would he be doing that? And then I remembered he's barefoot.
Yep.
He's got to walk on broken glass to try to get out of here. He's going to hurt himself for sure. And like to see that logic come through on screen, it I don't know, it did something to me where I was like, dude, thank you for like making me not have to think. Right? Like all the ins and outs of everything that could potentially happen in this scene, and you're giving the audience everything they need to know. Mm-hmm. You're not giving there's no room for any questions or anything like that. And that's amazing writing right there. And I even love the whole scene whenever he's like in the bathroom, like picking the glass out of his feet, and
Dude, that hurt
and
me.
him and Al have
that heart to heart.
that
about
heart
his
to heart.
wife.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, if I don't make it out of this, tell my wife I'm sorry, that I'm a, I don't know why she'd ever fall for a bum like me. I'm a piece of trash, and I just need to get back to her. I need to make it up to her. And then Al has a redeeming moment too, where
That was a big bro moment too.
yeah, where we
find out what Al did.
yeah, exactly, and
Yeah,
find out that he accidentally killed a kid, and that's why he is kind of like a desk jockey rather than being out in the streets, and he doesn't want to use his gun anymore because of that situation.
Yeah.
And like that whole scene too, I love. Like it's the film continuously puts us in situations with our characters that make us want to root for them, but also like humanize them.
Yeah.
And like really make us like want to root for them even more, because not only do we want this guy to like win, obviously, we also want him now to like get back together with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think I even love like the ending too, whenever the wife the entire time has been going by her maiden name, and then all of a sudden at the very end she's like, it's Mrs. McLean. And I was just like, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
This entire time she's been wanting like her own identity, and now she's like, no, I'm proud to have this guy as my husband. I love him. And it's great.
Yeah,
It is
they're
great.
healed.
Yeah.
And even that hug that they share, him and Al.
Yeah.
Like, it's so rewarding. It's been 2 hours of hell for this guy,
Yeah.
and he finally made it.
Yeah.
With no help other than himself, literally
Yeah.
himself. And he finally made it, and they get to hug.
Yeah.
It felt like,
It's
I
like
don't
they
know,
knew each other too, though, like without even seeing each other.
yeah, when you go through something like that, that's my best friend.
Yeah.
He had my back when literally the whole police force did not.
Yeah. I even love too, like in that scene where they're in the bathroom talking with one another on the walkie-talkie.
Oh, we're gonna have an ice cream date with our kids. or
Yeah,
something?
and he's like, I'm gonna get together with Al Jr. We're gonna go out for some ice cream and all this stuff, and yeah, it's incredibly wholesome. And again, another great moment where we get to humanize these characters and just care for them even deeper.
Yeah, not only action and guns and violence, but there's some
Family.
substance.
Yeah,
Family
yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
What else?
I actually really like when. So I don't know if your next scene is.
Go ahead.
But I really like when Han dies.
Oh, falling from the thing.
No,
That's
I
pretty good.
I immediately said that's a long way down.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
It-
a long.
it
It go
looked-
down.
It do that. It looked so insanely real.
Do you
Yeah.
think so?
The guy to fall as long as he did.
Yeah.
I immediately was thinking like, because they show like he falls for like a good like
4 or 5
almost like
seconds.
4 or 5 seconds, and like it's a long building. He's falling from the top.
Yeah, he's on
And-
what, floor 30 or something?
Floor 30.
Something like that.
That's 3,000 feet, right? No,
I don't know exactly how much,
I
but
don't
it's
know how much.
it's a long way down. And I liked the way that it was shot because it kind of reminded me of that shot of Good Time where we watched the guy fall out the window.
Oh,
no, you know what was
gosh.
my thought, and I hate to say this, was the famous falling man from 9/11.
It reminded me of Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
When Gwen.
And go,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it had that same slow-mo like, and for 1988,
Yeah.
slow-mo I thought was great.
Yeah.
I thought it looked believable.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it kind of amazed me seeing the falling because it follows like until you can't see him anymore.
And then all you
And
hear is
so-
the.
Yeah, and the one thing that I was really amazed by was where was the net or like the thing to catch the guy,
They
right?
could have easily
like,
thrown a test dummy though.
like or something, but it looked incredibly
It
real.
looked incredibly
like because the
real.
guy is like still flailing whenever he's going down. So I was like,
Yeah.
my immediate thought was somebody actually had to fall.
Yeah, 1988 was a crazy time for stunts.
Yeah.
For stunt
Even
people.
even the helicopters, like the actual use of real helicopters, like bobbing and weaving, like through all the skyscrapers in LA. Like I loved that.
That's gotta be
And-
insane.
And that was one thing as I was watching it, I turned to Alexa and I was like, that's why a movie like this is so timeless. Because you actually have the real thing, like doing it. It's not some CGI that you can just pop in there and it looked like crap like 30 years later.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's incredible. I really enjoyed it.
Yep, I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's Hans finally dying was so deserving,
Yeah, it is very satisfying.
and I was like, good, like finally, like you deserve it, like you're
Yeah.
an a-hole. You don't. Why are
Yeah.
you like? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was just nice to see it.
I like how it was set up too.
Yeah,
Because he throws down his little machine gun. Was it an MP5 or something?
something like
Something
that.
like
Oh my
that.
God.
I
You
think
know
it's like I think it's MP5. I think so.
MP5.
Yeah.
And he's straight up, he's got it taped.
Bro,
Yeah.
so
Taped
smart.
to the back of him and it's all yeah.
With only 2 bullets
He does
left.
he does the Red Dead 2 Deadeye, slows down time and goes
Yeah, straight gets him.
yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. It is an incredible movie, man.
Yeah.
I genuinely had a lot of fun with it. And I even loved too at the end when Argyle shows up and
And they just
they pick him he picks them back up and
No,
drives them
even when Argyle actually becomes like one of the head guys.
Oh yeah, and smashes the truck. the
so
ambulance.
deserving.
And he goes and socks that dude in the face. I was
Yeah.
like, let's go, Argyle.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. I was
Argyle-
super surprised.
Argyle was a goat.
Yeah.
So much more than just your cheese ball action.
How did you feel about the news scenes?
Dude.
I hate them. I
Yeah.
mean,
I hate.
So we'll get into it with bro moments because there was one specific one where I was like, "There's no way the movie just went there."
it did.
Like, that's insane. That they
I'm trying to
did
think what you're talking about now.
When they
Well,
go-
that. We'll get into it when we get into the bro moment.
When they go into the
category.
kid's house?
yes, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But for favorite scenes, that's about it for
that's
me.
about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into some best quotes then. This movie is insanely quotable.
It's- I feel like
Uh,
the first one you got to say it.
Yeah. Yippee ki
Yippee mother.
Yep.
Or
Mother
you can
trucker.
do. Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho! Like
Yeah.
my brother Sal has a Christmas sweater, and that's what it is. It literally says
Okay.
"Merry Christmas, ho ho ho." on there.
Nice.
One of the quotes I died laughing at that I wrote in real time was whenever he gets on the channel to talk to the lady, or the emergency channel, and the lady's like, "This is an emergency channel. You cannot be on here.
Like, what do you think
you'll be fined." And he's like, "No crap. Like, what do you think I'm doing? Do you think I'm ordering a pizza? Like, this is an emergency. I need some help out here." Like,
They were frustrating me so bad too.
yeah.
Oh, I hate them. What's up with the police force, man?
They suck.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. They don't want to do any work.
They're
They
lagging.
want like a good, easy night or something like that.
My
One
gosh.
of the lines that made me laugh was from one of the FBI agents. He wants to get the power grid off, and the electrician was like, "Well, I need some type of authorization," and then the FBI goes, "Authorizations? How about the United States effing government?" And I was like, "Bruh, you would have that kind of power trip."
Yeah,
But it made me laugh.
yeah.
Me too.
Another favorite quote I had down was an interaction between Hans and John. And Hans, I believe they're speaking over the radio at this point. And Hans says something to the effect of, "That's very kind of you. I assume you are our mysterious party crasher. You are most troublesome for a security guard." And then John says, "Sorry, Hans, wrong guess. Would you like to go for double jeopardy where the scores can really change?" And then he like speaks. There's like a dead man's cigarette somewhere in the scene or something like that. And then John says, "Well, those are very bad for you." And then Hans replies with, "Who are you then?" And then John says, "I'm just a fly in the ointment, Hans, the monkey in the wrench. I'm the pain in the butt." And then hangs the radio up. And I just enjoyed that whole interaction with each other as well.
Yeah, I had one where he was talking to the chief, and he goes, "Now you listen to me, jerk off. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Quit being part of the effing problem and put the other guy back on." And then he gets back on with Al, and he goes, "How you feeling, Roy?" Because that's the name he gives them. Because now the police can hear, and so can the call them terrorists, right?
Yeah. Or, the Germans,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
The Germans.
They both can hear, so he's got to be real particular with what he says on the thing.
Yeah.
So he calls him Roy, and he goes, "How you feeling, Roy?" And he goes, "Pretty effing unappreciated, Al." And I died laughing at that.
Yeah. Any other best quotes here?
No, I'm looking at the quotes as well too.
Yeah, none of them kind of jumped out at me as we were watching, other than the ones we've talked about.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's it, then let's move on to some bro moments then.
There's so many bro moments.
What have you got?
My first. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. My first one was
Jinx.
the pregnant lady going to drink at the party.
Oh yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Dude, yeah, the lady gets up, she's pregnant, and Holly comes in, and she asks her, "Do you think the baby can handle a little bit of champagne?" And she was like, "That baby can handle anything. You've deserved a drink." And I was like, "You're pregnant, dude, and you're gonna be drinking alcohol? That's crazy."
We lived in different times,
Yeah.
brother.
1988.
It was wild.
Dude, my first one was a little bit after that, and is when they shoot the security guard like nothing.
Oh yeah, he goes boom.
Like they're just having a general conversation
yeah,
about
they're-
like football
they're
or
talking,
something.
They're talking about basketball.
Something, whatever they're talking about.
Yeah.
And he goes, boom, and then just jumps right over and he goes and kicks him. I said,
Yeah.
"You're not getting like."
He says something like, "Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came into the third quarter, hit that three-pointer, and then boom." As he says boom, the guy goes, shoots them, and then pulls
I
them
don't
off.
get
and-
it, bruh.
Yeah,
it's
same
pretty
with
wild.
Mr. Takagi, too.
Oh, yeah.
I did not expect that guy to die.
Him getting his cat peeled back. Yeah.
Seriously,
I did
dude.
not either. I thought he was going to be way more integral to the story.
He was barely, literally just his wealth, that's it.
yeah.
He was
I was
not
definitely
needed.
thinking that Hans wasn't going to kill him, too.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if he had the
The
guts to do it, and then all of a sudden we just see him just...
Well, and see, that's one of those cheesy movies where he's like, "I'm going to keep you alive."
Yeah.
And, all that stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But no, there's real stakes here. And he's going to
Yeah.
bop anyone.
Yeah, and
So
that
Go ahead.
was one thing I really enjoyed about the movie is that it continued to subvert my expectations.
Serious.
Like, I legitimately thought that Hans was going to be the guy's like, "No, I need to keep you alive." But he was like, "No, you're going to get my way. Guess what? Boom.
he
I don't
still
care.
kind of
We'll find a way."
does that though. Like
With
he
who?
keeps Holly.
Yeah.
That's true, but he does. I don't think he necessarily finds out who Holly is until close to the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't find out because when he finally gets her, he's like, I think he says something along the lines like, "It'll be nice to have the wife of a cop" or something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason to kill her up until then.
Yeah.
So
I even put a bro moment a little bit earlier whenever John gets to Nakatomi Plaza and finds out that Holly changed her last name in the directory.
that's pretty rough.
Yeah. And the whole time he's looking for the M's. There's no one there with McClane, and then goes to the G's, and all of a sudden
There she
is
is.
Holly Gennaro, right? I think is her maiden name.
I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, okay.
Not even in the directory, but also in her office.
Yeah.
That's just her name.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even exist to her.
Yeah.
That's kind of. It just shows us their relationship and where they're at
Yeah.
very quickly. Literally, like we don't even need words. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
are they separated? What's
Yeah,
happening here?
Something.
Pretty good. I put the chief as just booty at his job.
Dude, the
Oh,
chief
yeah.
sucks.
Chief
the
is-
chief really does.
That's
suck.
the I immediately knew him as the principal from Breakfast Club.
I've never seen the Breakfast Club.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's essential. Breakfast Club's great, but he plays like sort of the same character.
Like just a
as-
pain in the butt.
Just a pain in the butt, and just like just this like hard guy. You know, like being like, "You're gonna do things my way, kid, and if you don't do it, guess what? You got another detention." Like, you know, like he plays like the exact same character, I think, in Breakfast Club. So seeing him do the same thing here, I was just like, I don't like you. I'm like wired to not like you. Like, so yeah. My other bromance that I had was obviously Hans acting his way out of getting killed by John.
Pretty good.
Pretty insane.
That was a good one.
Even having the no bullets in the handgun.
Mm-hmm.
My last one was the reporter threatening to call ICE on the lady.
Oh, that one?
Yeah. It blew my mind. I was like, there's no way he's going to this lady's house to talk to their kids to get them on live TV, and is like, if you don't let me talk to them, I'm going to get you deported.
He should have said, "I'm going to call INS on you."
Yeah, and I was like, there's no freaking way the movie just went there.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Just more and more corruption and like freaking just trash things that
Yeah.
reporters do to get a story. Is just,
yeah.
It sounds like Nightcrawler, bro.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, yeah. If Nightcrawler has
Seriously.
taught us anything, they do pretty much anything.
I think it was wild that they blew up a tank.
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
tank scene
Dude.
was crazy.
Yeah. True.
I was like, why? Why the heck do they need rocket launchers?
They were pretty close to it too. Like
Yeah, it
from
was
where it was like maybe like 4 floors away.
They probably could feel the fire.
yeah, from where they shot that.
Oh, for
freaking
sure. That
rocket.
shockwave from it.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel it.
Yeah,
But still, it was wild. Like,
And that thing was bolted to the floor too.
yeah,
They weren't just holding it like this. It was like
like a mortar or something.
yeah, it was mounted.
Yeah.
What about him dropping the bomb down the elevator?
smart.
Oh, yeah.
It was smart.
I feel like that whole sequence is pretty iconic too. With when it comes to Die Hard, like seeing the flames like go up through the elevator
Yeah.
shaft and out, and
And him having to
yeah,
jump before they get him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Anything else?
Hanging the dude from the chain.
Oh yeah.
Tell me that was not like, one, it was satisfying, but two, it was like,
Yeah, it was
you
pretty.
don't want to
rough.
see it.
yeah, because
Yeah.
they had a hard fought victory right there.
Yeah.
What about throwing the body out of the building to get the cops' distraction?
There's, yeah.
Yeah. What about Carl somehow coming back from the dead?
Bro,
True. At
that kind
at
of
the
made me
end,
mad.
right?
That kind of made me mad.
How? We watched him get hung, and he was just hanging there the whole time. It wasn't dying, and then came back from the dead to try to shoot him one more time, and then
The Germans
Al-
are built different, bro.
Al came in and saved the day.
He's got a bionic neck.
Yeah, something.
He got that neck.
Yeah, dude. He's
Has
the
to.
throat goat. He's got a windpipe that can't be crushed, man.
Oh man.
He's saying no. I can't say that. He's saying, "Choke me, daddy."
Yeah, for real. What other bro moments we got here?
Yeah, that's it. I guess
What about punching the reporter?
they deserved it.
Oh, yeah.
They
they
deserved
deserved
it. No, that was like a bro moment, but that was like a good bro
It was
moment.
very satisfying seeing
Yeah.
how trash these reporters are and like doing anything they can to get the story, and then having that satisfaction of Holly just being like, whoosh,
Right in his face. I was like,
Yeah.
good. He
And
deserves
on
even
live
more
and
than
on
that.
live TV, everyone can see that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was well deserved.
Yeah.
Very much so. He needed more than that. But whatever.
You need a stomping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
it though.
That's
me.
it. If that's it for the bro moments, then let's get into some facts with the bros.
Yeah, let me hit you with the budget. And I actually expected the budget to be a lot more because I thought this movie was pretty like explosions. Like you gotta think about all that. But it was $28 million to make this movie. Opening weekend, it made $601,000. Gross for U.S. and Canada made $83.8 million. And gross worldwide made $141.6 million.
Nice. Wow.
From a $28 million budget.
So I understand why sequels were made.
Yes.
Almost at like 2 years immediately after. Right?
What is it? Five of them, right?
Something
There's
like
5 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Die
there's a
Hard.
lot.
Die Harder.
that. Yeah.
Or wait, no, it's Die Hard 2. Die Harder.
Yeah.
And then what else have they got?
There's
Die
like
Hard
Die
with
Hard
a
with
Vengeance.
Yeah.
And then A Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah.
And then I don't have the last one. Oh, Live Free or Die Hard.
Okay.
So keeping
Yeah.
with the Die Hard theme.
Yeah, I don't know how much better they get as they go,
Yeah.
but
I can only imagine they get worse.
Yeah.
yeah. Same.
But that's just my cynicism.
yeah.
I'm looking at IMDb, just the quick ratings. 7.1, 7.6, and then the other one that's on here has a, let's see, a 7.1.
Okay.
So relatively consistent. Not
Yeah.
anything like you've got to see it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should watch them. See how
Definitely.
we feel about it.
I'd be down.
Yes. So Bruce Willis, he admitted that he still gets squeamish every time he watches a scene of him pulling the glass out of his feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you know he announced that he even said on live TV that this is not a Christmas movie?
I did see that.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
our buddy Tyler actually sent me the clip and showed us that, or showed me that Bruce Willis publicly denounced that it's not a Christmas movie. And to that I say, Bruce Willis is not the writer or director.
Boom.
So he doesn't get that call.
Yeah,
I
I think
agree
he's
with
wrong.
him, though.
I think he's wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce.
Yeah. One of
or
the
Mr. Willis.
Yeah, one of the things actually in regards to the writing of the movie, the scene in which Hans and John meet was actually inserted into the script after Alan Rickman was found to be proficient at mimicking American accents.
Oh.
It wasn't actually originally in the script. The filmmakers had been looking for a way to have the two characters meet prior to the climax, and they capitalized on Rickman's accents. The scene was also unrehearsed to create a greater feeling of spontaneity between the two actors.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I got one. Dang, you said the one that I was gonna say.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I looked at my notes. So the teddy bear that John McClane carries on the plane in the opening scenes is the same one that Jack Ryan carries with him on the plane in The Hunt for Red October.
Very interesting.
Okay.
I wonder
thought that was
why.
pretty cool.
Just a little callback.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Interesting.
In regards to the actual script, again, I was reading that a lot of the script was actually improvised due to the constant screenplay tweaks that were going on during filming. So they would have like a loose draft of what it was that was supposed to happen, but a lot of it was apparently improvised.
Oh wow, I did not get that from this film. I thought it was real, tight script.
Yeah. Or it feels like it would have to be pretty meticulous for all the stunts and everything that go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of all of the Die Hard movies, this one is the longest.
Really?
Yes, and each film has a key scene involving an elevator.
I saw that and I was
Ah.
like, wow.
So they all have a signature thing. That I don't know if it's the same director through all the films,
Okay.
but they're like, we gotta have an elevator scene. So it'd be interesting to look out for if we ever do go to those movies.
Okay.
After seeing the movie Heart Like a Wheel, a 1983 film, Bruce Willis loved Bonnie Bedella's performance in that film, so he personally recommended her to play his estranged wife.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I was actually reading, too, that Clint Eastwood originally owned the rights to the novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe. And he was actually planning to star in the movie around the early 1980s.
Oh wow.
But it never went through. And the rights ended up getting, I think, passed over. And the movie became what it is today.
Thankful.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been a bad Clint Eastwood movie. Who knows?
Not like that. Okay, so earlier I called them terrorists, but John McTiernan did not want villains to be terrorists. He considered that to be too mean. He chose to avoid terrorists' politics in favor of making them thieves in pursuit of monetary gain, believing it would make the film more suitable for summer entertainment.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a good call, too.
Yeah. And it kind of makes them like, oh, they're just like no good thieves.
Yeah.
They have no other higher ideology that they're fighting for. They're just plain Jane, stupid thieves.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about.
Yeah, definitely. The last one I have here actually is in regards to Nakatomi Plaza, which is actually a fictional place. And the actual place that this was filmed at is the headquarters of 20th Century Studios, which is the studio that produced this film. The studio actually filmed here so that that way they could use one of their own buildings and that they didn't have to hold back on stunts or any of the action sequences. While Jeb Stuart, one of the writers, was writing the screenplay, he did a tour of the building and immediately started to incorporate some of the locations and objects he found there into the script as set pieces. The company would then charge itself a rent for the use of their unfinished building. Some of the middle floors were occupied by legal and administrative departments at the time, too, so only empty floors were used for filming.
Yeah, that's all you really need.
Yeah. And then even then, the filming of the scenes that involved a lot of gunfire and action sequences and everything would have to happen after hours because employees were actually working at the time of the movie being filmed. So they definitely cut a lot of costs right there with, being able to film on location and everything that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Imagine doing your work and all you hear is gunshots.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, speaking of gunshots, Bruce Willis suffered permanent hearing loss while shooting.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they wanted the bullets to have a larger muzzle flash and a louder noise. So they made it that way, but they were still blanks. And he suffered permanent hearing loss.
So he can't hear out of one of his ears or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Apparently.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
I suffered 2/3 partial hearing loss in my left ear and have a tendency to say, what? That's what he said in an interview.
That's pretty rough.
So he has worn a hearing aid for years unbeknownst to most fans.
Wow.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
The last one that I have, I thought was pretty interesting, was while making this film, the cinematographer Jan de Bont got trapped in the elevator. And this later gave him the inspiration for the opening scene of Speed with Tom Cruise and Sandra Bullock, which he directed.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought that was really cool because Speed is a movie that I make fun of quite often. And knowing that that there's some correlation with Die Hard and this movie, I was like, of course there is.
Yeah.
It was just funny. It made me laugh.
I had seen one other thing too, actually, in regards to one of the writers of the film, Jeb Stuart. And I guess for a while, they were struggling to find out why Bruce Willis's character was, trying to even save his wife, and the idea of them being on bad terms with one another got brought up when the writer Jeb Stuart had a near-death experience.
Oh, I'm reading that right now.
Yeah, you want to take it over?
No, go ahead. I'm just reading it. I saw it and I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. So from what I remember, I guess he was driving at nighttime in L.A. behind a truck that had a ton of fridges that it was moving.
Oh heck!
And there was a fridge box that ended up falling out of the truck, and a ton of cars that were in front of him got to swerve out of the way to dodge the box. But he didn't get so lucky at the time. And luckily that box was empty.
Ugh.
Because he smashed into it. The box luckily happened to be empty, but had it not been, he could have potentially died on the freeway there.
It's like a cinder block in the road.
Yeah, and
That's for real.
Yeah, and he was super thankful for it because at the time of that happening, he had just gotten into a big fight with his wife. And his big thing was that he would have never been able to apologize to her. So the whole idea of not ever being able to apologize to your wife or, leaving on bad terms with one another was the big, inspiring point right there for the two characters there in the film.
Oh, pretty interesting.
I thought it was pretty interesting. I read it and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Pretty good, man.
Any other facts here?
That's it for me.
Me as well.
All right. What didn't work for this movie?
There really isn't that much. I don't.
I'll start. I'll just say Al's character arc. Why? Why
feels a little
why rush it in
Yeah.
at the very end? Why? Like it just the greatness that you had, and then at the very end, it just felt like, what do we do with Al? Oh, he doesn't shoot his gun. Oh, he's gonna shoot his gun. He shot his gun. Ah, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, my neck's broken, dude.
Yeah.
Too fast. Don't have it at all.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that the movie could have benefited from him not doing that, because like that just means that that guy that was hung
Had to
somehow
come back.
like came back to life,
right.
and like made his way down there and was like, I will kill you, and like did this whole thing. You know, it kind of reminded me of that. Maybe this is where Dumb and Dumber got it from, but that whole ending of Dumb and Dumber, whenever Lloyd is imagining freaking killing Mary's husband. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
No, I've never seen Dumb and Dumber.
Oh man, you're killing me. There's a whole scene where at the end, you know, it kind of ends similar, where there's like a ton of cops around and they're all, you know, joined with one another and being like, oh, I missed you. Oh, I love you. And the cops deliver Mary's husband, who was kidnapped at the time. And this entire time, Lloyd has thought that Mary was single and he's been in love with her. And so when he finds out that she has a husband, she's like kissing him and hugging him. He starts daydreaming about like taking one of the cops' guns and just killing him on the spot. And like, I think they probably took a little bit of inspiration there from this ending scene here in Die Hard. But yeah.
I don't know. I thought maybe it could have been a little shorter. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but
it's a 2-hour runtime. It's definitely a lot to ask for your audience.
Yeah,
especially if it's an action film.
Yeah, I was thinking a genre like this is a little bit more digestible when it's shorter. It's like to be able to get in, enjoy, and then get out.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel too like crazy drawn out. I'm kind of used to 2+ hours now. 3 with the new Avatar. They're just getting long.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that could be a thing people would be thinking about.
Okay.
Do you have anything?
I guess maybe just why do we need the character of the chief?
Yeah.
Like
That's a good one.
Like I feel like maybe he could have just not been in it and the movie still
Would have been good.
great. Like he just serves as like, we're gonna make bad decisions, you know, and like
yeah, it kind of just
the movie could have done without it and been just fine.
That's same with the news. I don't think it needs any of the news situation.
Well, here's the thing. I believe that people like that in the news would actually do that to get a story. However, I don't believe someone like him would be chief.
Yeah.
Would make it as long as he did to become chief, because he's just so trash.
Yeah.
He is an awful chief.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really believable, or at least like devalues the significance of the police force in this universe, because if he's the police chief, that means everybody's looking at him as a role model.
Yeah.
They're looking up to a turd as a role model. That means they're going to be turds.
Yeah, exactly.
Thankfully not Al, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't truly believe that a man like him with the decision skills like him would be in that position.
Yeah, definitely.
And it kind of makes me think, yeah, well, maybe it would be a little better, because I'd be like, I actually believe that the cops could handle this a little bit more, that they'd be a little bit more resourceful or valuable to the situation. And I, like, ever since the chief got there, I was like, okay, these guys are kind of a lost cause.
Yeah.
Get back to John. What's he doing?
Yeah. And I think like his just whole character kind of serves as a plot device for us to root for Al and John.
Yeah.
And, you know, the entire time we're just like, as an audience member, you're thinking, you know, Al's the only one that knows what's going on here. Him and John, like, they're the duo here. And then this guy comes in, tries to use his power, but he has no crap. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think he probably just couldn't have been in the film. And him and Al the entire time could have, like, had this dialogue with one another and it been fine.
Yeah, me too.
Anything else for what didn't work?
No, that's it for me.
Okay.
One thing that I do got, the reason why I asked if you had anything else, because I was going to disagree with you, was the timing. 2 hours. I watched it and I didn't think it was 2 hours long. I thought it was shorter.
So you like the length?
I like the length.
So then pacing works.
Pacing works.
Okay.
For me, 100%. I didn't think it was 2 hours long. Almost like you, I didn't want to take off my eyes because I was like, where everything is flowing so perfectly.
Yeah.
Like if I pause it, I'm just gonna lose my momentum and not gonna want to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually ended up pausing it. So I kind of did feel like that. I was like, man, like all this happened already, and I gotta restart with this already happening.
Yeah.
And I wish I didn't have to.
Yeah.
But the pacing worked perfectly. So I'm just in agreement with you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's get into what else worked for
Yeah.
us. I really think the writing here is super solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's kind of amazing that that an action film, you know, at the height of action films, right? All of the 80s, there's all these like cheesy action films that are coming out at the time. I'm thinking of like a movie like Cliffhanger. Like that's like, you know, it's an old Sylvester Stallone movie, but like it's like a bad, you know, action film that like really has no substance to it. It's just like, let's watch this buff guy like go through all these obstacles and stuff like that, and then like win in the end and beat the bad guy. You know,
There's
like
so many movies. What the heck?
yeah, like there's like, you know, just a ton of like mediocre action movies that are out there that give the genre a bad rap. And with a movie like this, there's so much to take influence from, and there's so much to go off of that make an action movie great. And it not only has great action sequences, it has insanely believable characters that we really do care about, that feel fleshed out and feel like, you know, they actually belong in this universe. We've got a ton of logic used throughout the entirety of the film that make a lot of the things that happen feel believable. You know, and again, I go back to like there not being any questions that take place throughout the entirety of this film. The writers really do think of everything, and that leaves us no room, or it leaves an audience member no room to ask any questions because they already addressed everything. So the writing here is really good.
Yeah, I just like the action, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's
The
what a lot of
action was
people.
amazing.
Yeah,
No,
a lot of people come for the action and to see Bruce Willis just kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I really like some of the choreography here.
Yeah.
I was really caught off guard at some of the things that he had to go through to survive.
Yeah.
Some of the smarts that he had to pull out, like that scene where he has to jimmy the gun and then like use its strap to go down and then jump
the vent.
and crawl in there and barely make it. Like I was genuinely like biting my nails. I was like, oh crap, is he gonna make it?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know. I just think it was successful at getting me to, one, care about him, and two, just really be entertained
Yeah.
at him watching this guy beat these other guys up.
Yeah.
It was just nice.
Yeah.
It was good.
Definitely.
He's not this superhuman. He's resourceful,
Yeah.
which I really appreciated.
Yeah, definitely.
After now seeing it, I do think this movie is a classic.
Yeah, definitely.
And
it's a
because-
Christmas classic.
No. It's a classic because I feel like this is a movie that I can come out this year, and
Yeah.
a lot of people would still love.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And for that, I think it's a classic.
Okay.
Definitely think it's timeless.
Yeah.
There's nothing
it
in
is.
here that truly, truly ages it. I mean, I will say, maybe I should have talked about what didn't work. Some of the acting with the gun looks a little stiff. A little stiff. Like when they
Like
walk
the hip
around.
fire.
Yeah, when they walk around and they're like, and the guy
It-
jumps and goes, grrr.
Yeah.
It looks a little stiff,
Okay.
but I kind of gave it credit because it's 1988, whatever.
When you say stiff, it reminds me of like, I don't know if you guys ever played Resident Evil 2 for the GameCube, I think.
I have not.
But it's like when they move, it's like step forward and then you turn and then you step.
Oh, okay.
That's what you remind me of, and that's what I feel like they did, because they would step forward and they would just go.
Yeah, it's not like they have
It's
no
not fluid.
Yeah, it's like you right when you hit left.
Yeah.
It's like
There's
you hit
no
your
in
stick-
between,
Yeah,
like-
Yeah.
It's here or it's here. It's kind of. Felt like
I
that.
get what you're saying.
But other than that, I mean, I think the effects were pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I was even seeing too. It got nominated for best editing and best
I
effects
know. I can't believe
for
we
an
didn't bring
Oscar.
that up.
yeah, it has 4 Oscars. It got nominated for 4
That's crazy.
Yeah.
for 1988.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
4 of them.
So it got nominated for best sound, best film editing, best effects sound effects editing and best effects visual effects.
Oh, sounds so good you'll go deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just think it's timeless.
I like the story
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
This is a good story.
Definitely.
And I think it works for it.
Okay.
True.
Anything else that does work?
No. I mean, I came for action.
Yeah.
And
that's
it
what
was
we
there.
got.
It delivered.
It delivered
It did.
everything I really was expecting. It was there, and I loved it.
All right. Who wins this movie?
I put Argyle.
Did you?
No, I wanted to give him a bone because he's funny. He's
Yeah.
not really in it,
Yeah.
but he's
No,
just
he-
that guy that's I'm just like, man.
He's what's it called? He is what's the kid from Jojo Rabbit?
Oh, it's the guy who's comic relief always, huh?
The black-haired kid
The kid, the little
with the
kid.
glasses.
Yeah.
I forget his name. I don't know.
Forgetting too.
That's who Argyle is.
Yes.
in this
Oh,
movie.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
No, but on a serious note, I think Bruce Willis.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he
one of
kills
his most iconic roles, if not the most iconic role.
Yeah. Definitely.
it. Agree.
That or Pulp Fiction.
And see,
That one's good too.
Yeah.
though.
he's in it, but it's like when I think of Pulp Fiction, I think of John Travolta or Samuel.
Yeah,
Samuel L.
that's
Jackson.
true.
That is
He's
and
true.
when I
not the
think of
first
Bruce
one.
Willis, I think of Die Hard or Red.
Oh, okay.
Red. Wow.
I don't know, man. Anytime I think of him in Pulp Fiction, I think of whenever he goes and kills that gimp.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
I hate that scene,
Oh,
dude.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Oh, the gimp!
Bring out the gimp.
I forgot about the gimp.
How do you forget about
Yeah.
the gimp,
And he's all like
man?
this.
Well, because
Tap it
I
on his
want to
head.
block that out of my mind.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
Bruce Willis.
I don't know any. Okay, for this one, do you guys have any themes? Because I did not write anything down
No.
for theme.
Yeah. I didn't really see any like overall
Don't forget to
arching
apologize.
narrative or I guess don't leave on bad terms. Don't end things in bad
Yeah,
blood.
already, this is such a Hobby Lobby like.
Don't go to sleep. On
Don't
your
go to
anger.
sleep when you're angry. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh, what didn't someone say? Oh, it was in Little Women. She said,
Yeah.
"Don't let the sun fall on your anger" or something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
movie has the same themes.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't write anything for this. I
Yeah.
just figured
I didn't write anything
Same.
down.
it's not
Yeah.
not
All
so
right.
big a deal.
Well, what are we rating this bad boy? What are we rating this barefoot boy?
Barefoot boy. He got Chinchilla
This
Blackfoot.
Bloodyfoot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. I'll give it an 8.
I gave it an 8 too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Oh, really?
Oh.
8's all around.
8's all around. Yeah, I think it deserves it, man. It was
Yeah,
great.
it deserves it.
Yeah. I really had fun with it, and I think it might be something honestly I might return to next
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
Like
Really?
I don't know if my brothers have ever seen this movie. I know my dad probably has, but it's something that we never watched in my household. It was always Rambo. And I would love to watch this and be like,
Let's
all
make
right,
this a tradition.
yeah, like or let's actually debate, is this a Christmas movie? Let's watch it and find out. It's something that I think is just fun for everybody.
Oh yeah.
And while the subject matter might be something that for maybe an older audience, it still like is a ton of fun, and it's you're there to be entertained, and if that's something that you love about movies, you love the spectacle of things, you're not going to be disappointed with this.
No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
And I think that's like I said last week. I picked this movie because it's my brother's favorite movie, and it was his birthday yesterday, and so I can see why now he loves this movie.
Yeah,
So I can't knock him for that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. 8's around the board.
All right.
8's around the table. That's what should say.
Yes, sir. All right.
All
Well,
right.
if that's it for everything, I mean,
That's
the end
it.
of the
That's
episode.
the end of the
That's it.
episode.
This is actually going to be the last episode of the year.
Yeah.
So next
Happy New
episode that
Year.
comes out, next episode that comes out, it will be
New Year.
the new year, which is pretty crazy.
2023.
Yep.
What's in store for
insane.
us?
Who knows? Hopefully more growth. We just hit 100 subscribers
Ooh,
too,
I
so
know.
thank you guys.
When I saw
for-
that, I was like,
yeah, it is honest. Yeah, I do want to take a moment to just say thank you to everybody that's subscribing on YouTube. We hit 100 subscribers, and while that may seem like a small feat for some other YouTubers out there, or anyone that isn't on the platform, it's something big for us, knowing that we started from
Literally
zero.
nothing.
We had 0. and we started the YouTube a year later after we had already started the podcast, and so if you're ever wondering, oh man, have they done this movie or something like that? Check on the audio platforms because we had this podcast going for a year before we even started posting on YouTube.
Yeah, because I think we're up to 104 episodes right now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
Quite a
we
bit.
honest to God, thank you guys for everything, for always watching,
Yeah.
commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing the videos. Continue to do it if you want to see us do more. We appreciate all of the support, and I love you guys. And I can't just thank you guys enough for continuing to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I would love to just sit here and talk with movies about you guys because you're my boys,
Mm-hmm.
and movies are things that we love.
Yes, sir.
But it's nice to know that other people also love it amongst us and can
100%.
enjoy it with us.
Yep.
So
Agree.
yeah, as always, check us out on YouTube or the audio platforms. Subscribe, rate and review the show. Let us know what you're liking, what you're not liking. Use those platforms alongside all of the social media and everything that you can find in our episode descriptions to let us know what you're liking, what you're not liking, how we can make the show the best that we possibly can. This is something that we really care about and something that we're passionate about. So if there's any way that we can make it better, or if there's something that we're doing that could potentially harm the show or something like that or anything, let us know, and we'll try to take that into account to make this thing the best thing that it can possibly be. But as always, we're going to be revealing the next episode that we're going to be doing for the new year. It is my pick, and I thought it would be good to start off the new year with a movie with an amazing message.
Yes.
And it is currently streaming on HBO Max. It is directed by Ben Stiller. It is a movie called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite movies. I really enjoy this movie. It has a very profound meaning to me. And I think it just means something to me personally because I'm a dreamer. But when I watched this movie at the time that I did, it had a very profound impact on me. And it's one that is very slept on, I feel. I feel like not a lot of people know about this movie. Or if they do, they don't give it the credit that it deserves. So I want to uplift this movie. And I also I want you guys to watch it and to just, feel the things that I felt when I watched Secret Life of Walter Mitty for the first time. It's something that I've come back to so often. It's a movie that grew my love for David Bowie. It's just a great movie all around, and I'm really excited to dive into it with you guys and to talk about it. So.
Yeah. Over the sickness, Lisa put it on for me. So I'm just recently have watched this.
Yeah.
And I can see all the reasons why you love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's really unique. It's so freaking beautiful. It solidified my love for Greenland and Iceland.
Yeah, this was one of the reasons why I want to go to Iceland so bad.
Yeah, it's this movie and it's playing through Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Both of the reasons why I'm holy crap. There's so much more beauty in this world that I have yet to experience, and this is one of the places I want to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to revisit it. Even though I've just watched it, it was great, and there's definitely stuff that I can to mine.
Yeah.
That I just kind of got a surface over. So I'm excited to revisit this.
Yeah, definitely. So again, streaming on HBO Max. Check it out, and then tune in back next week to hear what we have to say about The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. As always, this has been the Film Bros Podcast. Thank you. Have a happy New Year, and good night.
Good night. Happy New Year.
Good night.